Alright, so I want to make this video for one specific reason. And that reason is I want to start a 100-day, like a 100-day series on just being locked in, focused, what the benefits of a meditation are, but also like this 100-day series on what can I achieve in 100 days if I focus 100% on my goals. And they say consistency is key, and I can notice, like in myself, I notice how much of a difference being focused on your goals is for like 2 days. Like 2 days isn't a long time, but you can get a lot done in 2 days. And so just being focused on my goals for 2 days makes like a significant impact. Imagine what being focused on your goals for 100 days could do. And so like let's kind of get, what are some of my goals? We're thinking like 100 days, which is short term. That's like what, maybe a little more than 3 months, or just about 3 months. Hair or something. Maybe a little more than 3 months. So some of my goals that I want to work on is just like being more dedicated to my art, and with putting in as much time and practice into my art, and potentially selling some canvases or selling some 3D prints, or maybe making some designs that I can post on certain sites and things like that. That's one thing. Another thing is I want to learn how to do data science and computer programming, and that, and then I want to make these videos, which is also a pretty big thing. And I'm going to take some classes as well at my community college, and so I want to be locked in on those courses too. So usually how things go for me, like on a weekly basis, is that I would say maybe I'm putting in about like 40% of my time into like maybe school. The other 30% is work, because I only work 3 days a week, which 12-hour shifts. But like even within that schedule, like I don't want to use percents because percents aren't really good. Like, or use those percents. Like while I work 3 days a week, I can study during those 3 days a week that I'm at work. I can also work, but even an hour or 30 minutes, like on each of those days, is significant. What else? Most of the time I'm at home, that I'm supposed to be like studying or working on something. I know that I'm like wasting that time anyway. And I don't mean like utilizing that time in a sense of like studying for hours or reading. Like, I mean like generally wasting it, like playing video games or watching TV. Like to me, those are time wasters when they're done over a significant amount of time, to where there's not even a reason to why you're doing these things. You're just doing it in the burn time. And so, yeah, I want to be locked in for 100 days. And I want to make this the start of my vlog series, I guess, locked in for 100 days. Just where I'm waking up, not necessarily at the same set time, not necessarily perfectly like have a perfect morning, but more in the sense of I'm waking up, I'm meditating, I'm eating, I'm exercising, then I'm getting my day started. Something along those lines. And then transition to, okay, I'm going to work on this, and this today. And planning, and so that's what I mean by being locked in. It's working on my goals consistently for 100 days to see what changes could happen. Like me, I have a lot of plans and projects and ideas and things that I want to do, and I have a lot of pending projects. Like there's probably like 4 or 5 websites that I need to build for people and their businesses and stuff, and they're just waiting on me to do them. And so like things like that, like that's something I definitely could work on. And it's not that like, oh, well, it doesn't sound like I have enough time. Like it's not that. I truly believe that most of the time, in my life at least, I have enough time. Now other people may say, oh, they don't have enough time because of this, that, and the third. Like I know that I have enough time. I know that I'm not utilizing that time properly, and I'm not making time for the things that matter to me. I'm making time for the things that that don't necessarily matter to me and that don't leave me feeling fulfilled by the end of the day. Let's use today for a good example. So today, I woke up, right, at 8, I meditated, and then I went to the gym for like an hour and a half. Got a good exercise in. Then after that, I went home. Also during that time, I was like learned some 3D modeling stuff, watched some videos, Then I went home and practiced some 3D modeling things. I drew a little bit, I worked on some videos, and I kind of thought and planned about stuff, and I cleaned. And so, like, even now, there's still more time in the day to work on data science, art, like those things that I talked about. There's still time in the day to do that. There's still time in the day to eat. There's still time in the day to go, like, to plan, to sleep, to journal, to watch TV. Like, I know that there's still time to do those things. It's a matter of, like, am I properly utilizing that time? Like, I could get on the game the rest of the night. I get on the game the rest of the night today. They do the same thing tomorrow. Like, something I want to start doing is I want to start volunteering. And not necessarily like for a goal or anything. Like, I've always wanted to be like actively involved in the community. And like back home, people struggled a lot. My family struggled a lot. My mom was someone who like was in and out of homeless shelters. I was a kid in elementary school, and I didn't get to eat all the time. My clothes didn't fit. And so, like, working at homeless shelters and things like that, like, those are things that matter to me, and I want to put that time in to really help those communities, because in my mind, whenever I get to my goal or my destination, I'm assuming it's going to come with money, and I hope that that money that I get, I can reinvest back into communities and things like that. So, I mean, yeah. So I would say tomorrow will be day one. Even though I was productive today and tomorrow, because I'm starting this series, I will say tomorrow will be day one. And I'll get started. I'll get started on my thing. What I have planned for tomorrow is I'm going to go shadow a research lab pretty much the whole day. I'm assuming that it's open from like 8 to 5. So that still leaves me time in the day to exercise, work on art, or data science and computer programming. Like, that still gives me time to do things. And so, yeah. And just because I'm saying all this doesn't mean I won't like sit down and also like rest and take time for myself. And like, that's what motivation, that's like the meditation and like going to the gym and things like that. It's taking time for myself. Another thing I want to talk about is like purpose and I guess like default settings. And so I've noticed today that, or actually let's go back. Since I've been a kid, to deal with stress, to deal with things going around me, I always drew. And nothing against my family and stuff, but they were always not the best when it comes to like talking about emotional states and dealing with like mental problems and whatnot. And so I would get frustrated with life and I would start drawing. And so like now, but as I like grew up, I drew less and less and less and started to turn to other things of frustration. And so now I'm an adult, I'm like, okay, I want to get back to drawing, not necessarily for like stress and getting rid of like, negative thought processes, but more of like, I actually enjoy drawing, And so like, something I noticed is that when I get rid of my gaming 24/7, which was one of the things that I started to do to, I guess, like self-soothe my emotions and whatnot. When I get rid of gaming, I get rid of TV or anything that's just not like necessarily like truly fulfilling to myself, I turn to my default things, which is like art, making this type of content. Like these things are like more default to me. These things are more like more innate in a sense. Like, I start to draw, I start to meditate more, ponder about abstract ideas, like more science related topics, think about how like this thing affects another thing, so that's also been interesting. And so what else? I think I was trying to say, Oh, it was my train of thought. But I think that's what I was trying to say was that like I feel like art is more innate, and that maybe whoever like somebody watching is that like when you get rid of these distractions, there's things that you're gonna do that are more default. Sometimes these things can be like bad, but sometimes these things can be like really beneficial to you. Like maybe you're bored and what you start doing is you start journaling, or maybe you start rapping or dancing, you know what I mean? Like there's things that you do that there may be things that you do that are positive that like you can grow into something later down the line. And like I know that well, you know what? Yeah, I know that I want to grow my art into something financial later, like now. And I also know that I want to produce artwork that can benefit people who experience similar things to me, but also who like art. And so, yeah, that's it for all. That's that's it. This is gonna be just the intro to the blog, vlog, whatever, or 100-day series, and hopefully, or oh yeah, hopefully I will see y'all for day one. But yeah, peace out.